Hey there. Right now I'm going to make these Littleneck clams that are soaking right now in salt water. I'm hoping that expels some of the sand. In basically a Marinara linguini sauce. So first I'm going to cut up this red onion. Take my pan here and I'm going to put half a stick of butter. Or not quite half. It's like about 4 tablespoons of butter or so, a little less. Some of this onion into my pan. Eyeball the rest of this. A little black pepper into the pan. Splash Old Bay seasoning. Hungarian paprika. Alright. Sweet white wine, I use a muscat. It's an off-dry wine. Put about a cup of that in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on the stove, melt that down, cook it down. And basically what I'm going to do is once this butter melts down into that wine, I'm going to add about a 15-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. You can use a regular tomato, I just don't happen to have any right now, but I have some canned. Alright, a couple of things that I forgot to show you that's going in here. I have this specialty Himalayan sea salt. You can use regular sea salt, this just has a bunch of minerals in it. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that in there. Alright, now what I've done is I've added actually about half of a can of crushed tomatoes. I've crushed some garlic, 3 cloves, put the crushed garlic in there, and I'm just letting this simmer and reduce by about half. Ultimately I'm going to end up putting those clams in here, and I'm going to put the lid on it and let them steam and open up. I'm going to take some Parmesan type cheese, fontinella cheese, and mix it with the heavy whipping cream and bring that to a really, really low boil. Actually not quite boil, I'm just going to warm it up enough to melt this cheese inside of here. And once the clams are open in this, I'm going to add that mixture of the cheese and whipping cream into here. Alright, so here's where I am with the cheese. Fontinella cheese. Smells pretty good. I'm just going to grate it. Okay, so I've got roughly 1 cup of that cheese and about 1 cup and a half of the heavy whipping cream. I'm going to put this cheese in here like this, and I'm going to stir this up. Excellent. Okay, now I'm going to take this over to the burner and I'm going to put it on a really, really low heat. Just enough to melt that cheese down into that. This is going to be a really thick, creamy sauce that I'm going to add to my clam marinara. Alright, now I'm going to take these clams, which have been in here about 45 minutes. Then I'm just going to give them a quick scrub. Alright, now I'm actually ready to add my clams to this. I'm just going to toss them in there, one at a time like this. And there they go. Now let's get these covered. Get some steam going in there, crank the heat up just a little bit. And in about 5-6 minutes or so, they should all be open. Take the lid off and look at that. Delicious, right? Totally. Okay. Clams have all opened up. Now what I'm going to do is take this cream sauce that I've made, and I'm just going to pour that around in here. Kind of mix that up. Oh, when this was still cooking down, I added some herbs to Provence when no one was looking. So it gives it a little bit of a aromatic smell to those nice herbs and the lavender flowers. These Littleneck clams are really good if you've never had them. You just gotta, there's a couple of different things you can do to get the sand off of them. Give them a good scrub, soak them in some salt water. And as long as you got the sand off, which I'm sure I do, you're in for a treat. So I'm gonna let that cook down for a minute. All right, here's what it looks like when it's done. You can see I topped it off with some of my oregano. I have fresh oregano growing in here in the living room. That's it. So I'm gonna sit down and eat this and take a still picture for my recipe page.
Whoa,